Dun-dun-dun, 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 dun-dun-dun. We are back with the one and only The Sick Podcast Steeler. Crazy. Ooh, a lot of traveling. Mike's back from his honeymoon in Italy. And guess what? The Pittsburgh Steelers play a football game this week. Mike, how are you? It's been a while.
I'm good. It has been a minute, and excited about some Steeler football and still a crazy podcast. How can you not be?
Yeah, we have a lot of great things coming this season as well. Cam Heyward signed $45 million deal. We'll jump to that. But first, why don't you talk about our new partnership for the season here, Mike?
Yeah, of course. I mean, listen, we're all very excited because with the NFL, the itch to make a couple of bets and make yourself some money. So week one is here, of course. A new season means new ways to get on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook. You can use our code SICK-SPORTS right there. Of course, score big with DraftKings, the best place to bet touchdowns. Download DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the code SICK-SPORTS. You see that right there. That is SICK-SPORTS. New customers get $250 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 and get 1 month of NFL Plus Premium on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem, do us a favor. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or
Get
text
help.
HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Resort and Casino in Kansas. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in New Hampshire, Oregon, and Ontario. Bonus bets do expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ftball. NFL Plus premium offer available only to new and former NFL Plus subscribers. Additional NFL Plus premium terms at nfl.com/terms. Listen, opening game, Chiefs, Ravens. We got Thursday night. Chiefs -2.5 at home. Maybe a bit of a
You're itching.
sneaky line there. Sneaky line.
Yeah.
I kind of like maybe a Chiefs 2-point win and a Ravens cover there. But make sure you use DraftKings, use Six Sports. I would repeat all of that, but I think we would run out of showtime.
No, I was going to say that was very impressive. I was tuned in, just like you guys are going to be tuned in all season long, 365 days a year to the one and only The Sick Podcast Steeler Crazy. Let's get to it.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. Steelers Crazy.
Aaron Smith shields. Flacco Polamalu takes it home. Super Bowl 43. Pittsburgh might be bound for that thanks to number 43.
The sickest Pittsburgh Steelers podcast.
Sports entertainment like no other. It's gonna be
Sick.
Yeah, so you heard it. I guess we'll kind of just jump right into it. Cam Heyward signed a $45 million deal. I think it's $16 million guaranteed. I kind of went back on forth on this. I think everyone knows that Cam Heyward is a stand-up guy. I'm talking strictly on the football field. After looking about the guaranteed money, it kind of makes a little more sense to me. And I love Cam. I would love to him, get a Super Bowl and ride off into the sun. But yeah, just that it's just logically from a football standpoint, it's just a no from me still. I mean, I really hope that he goes in and goes crazy. I mean, I want anyone in black and gold I'm rooting for. But at the end of the day, as far as, striving to build a Super Bowl 53-man roster team, it just doesn't logically make sense for me. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a fair take. And I know you've been anti re-signing Heyward all offseason, and I kind of was on that ship with you because you don't see 35-year-olds very often, especially on the defensive or offensive line, getting extended, just obviously due to Father Time. It hits everybody, and Cam was banged up a little bit last year. It felt like Father Time was catching up to him a little bit. But I think maybe the word I would use outside of deserved is fair. It seems like a fair contract for both sides. Cam wasn't sitting back saying like, yeah, I want to be paid like the top defensive lineman in the league. I took a look at some of the numbers. Chris Jones for the Chiefs, obviously, who's all worldly, is making like $34 million per year. So you got Cam less than half the number one defensive lineman in football in terms of annual salary. And then he's in about the 16, 17 range in terms of average annual salary for defensive linemen. So I think that's fair. Even at age 35, he's probably better than the 17th best defensive lineman in the league. And somehow the Steelers, because I don't understand the salary cap, saved $9 million now this year and have some more freed up space to maybe make a move somewhere else. So it's fair, and I'm happy for Cam. That's a guy. He's not another jersey guy. I'll put it that way. Like, you can't picture him in another jersey.
No.
Like, it's like when Antonio Brown went to the Raiders or Andrew McCutcheon was playing for the Brewers. Like, you can't picture these guys in other jerseys.
Yeah,
so I'm happy that we won't have to see it come to fruition.
Yeah, and just really, I think the most exciting thing is I tweeted it, I think, earlier this week or last week. The NFL knows what it's doing. Week 1, Steelers, Falcons. Obviously, a lot of ex-Falcons on the Steelers now as well. Arthur Smith brought him over. I'm just really optimistic about, this offense. I really think that my biggest thing going into the season is kind of everyone's worry from the preseason was the offensive line. But like I said, and I think you tweeted this out, we always allude back to our tweets, Twitter, X, whatever it's called now, that at the end of the day, they just got to go out there and perform. Like, we could say, hey, we have this scheme, we have this, until I see it. And you're not going to show all the cards. I think that's what your tweet was. He's not going to go into preseason and show, hey, we have these trick plays with Justin Fields ready. Like, no, they're just going to line up and you're going to see Justin Fields out there. So just really excited. 1 p.m. game too, so I'll be able to get to bed in time.
Well, let's talk about if we think they're going to win or lose. So let's go through the whole darn thing. Whatever graphic they bring up, we'll start with. It can be a surprise. It can either be you or me, and it's me
year again.
Oh, there it is. Our viewers are going to spike right now on X now that they see this. I should go ahead and retweet it, as they say. All right, I'm going to start with this. Preface it with this before I go through this, and this is an inexact science, a complete inexact science. Picking schedules before the season is fun to do,
You might as well
it means nothing. And the reason it means nothing is because the strength of schedule, every single team is going to change the week that you play them. They just are. Who knows? TJ Watt could get hurt, and before you know it, some of those wins turn into losses. Or Joe Burrow gets hurt, Lamar Jackson, and those losses turn into wins. So this is something you evaluate on a week-to-week basis, not before the season. With that said, pretending everybody is healthy on every single team, this is how it's going to look. I'll just go through them. I'll run through them really quickly. This Sunday against the Falcons, you're going to see a Steelers win to open the season. I think that place is going to be fired up. A lot of Pittsburghers. Arthur Smith going to be motivated to win. Russell Wilson is really good at week 1 the last handful of years. I think Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren are going to be utilized frequently. They're going to be the stars of the game, and the Steelers are going to pull out a close win. Now, it would be the most Steelers thing ever to turn around and lose at Denver the next week, a team that's projected the bottom half. But that is what I'm anticipating. They come home in the home opener, beat the Chargers, and then another tough game, week 4, sneaky tough game at the Colts. They lost to Gardner Minshew last year in the Colts. I could see that happening again. Big win over the Cowboys. Easy win at the Raiders. That team's not very good this year. And then the New Yorkers, they split those games right there. Enter the bye 5-3, which is really solid. And then they come out of the bye the next 2 weeks and get 2 more wins in that DC region. Go to 7-3, Jordan. And that's when the gauntlet hits. It hits. And once again, this is assuming every team is healthy. At Browns, at Bengals, the Cleveland sweep, the Ohio sweep. You beat the Browns, and then that at Eagles, at Ravens versus Chiefs is rough. You finish it up with you get Tomlin that 9th win, and you say, hey, listen, he didn't go under 500 again. But we don't want to hang a banner for that in Pittsburgh. But this is, once again, it's an inexact science. Before I went through all these games, I said this is a 10-win team. This is an 11-win team. And you run through it, and factor in everybody's health, and I came out with 9-8, which in my opinion would be a big time failure.
Yeah, but hey, Tom would get to keep his streak, so.
Yeah.
All right, I guess we'll pull mine up next. 9-8, 10-7. So I have
You got them starting 3-0.
Yeah, I think that the first two
Makes
games,
sense.
again, the NFL knows what they're doing. Falcons, Broncos, Arthur Smith revenge game, Russ revenge game. Chargers, I feel like we'll be back home coming off those 2 wins, 3-0. Colts are scary to me. They're a sneaky team.
For sure.
So it's always like kind of like, okay, there's the first loss, get it out of the way. The Cowboys, I just feel like the Steelers get pumped up for those games. I'm going to count that as a
Home
win.
game.
We stink.
Night game too.
Yeah, we stink against the Raiders in the past, no matter what the record is. I know we beat them the last time.
Fair.
So that I'm going to just throw that in there as one of those head scratcher losses. Jets, obviously, they have a great team over there. So I feel like that will be like a little bit of a slump. Then bounce back with the Giants. Bye week, definitely needed. I kind of like that week 9 bye week, get everyone rested. Usually they're kind of scattered all over the place. So what do you think?
Facts.
You like a week 9 bye week? I like that.
Yeah, right in the middle feels better than like week 5 with some of these teams. Yeah, it feels like
that's like way too early. You want to have it like later. Then we go to
you want to be a little bit banged up and then feel like you're actually resting and before the home stretch really hits, especially when you have this kind of home stretch.
Yeah. Commanders, I have them winning. Ravens, I feel like we always at least get one win against the Ravens. The Browns, they have a great defense. That kills me to say that. So I'm going to say that's a loss there. They're going to be tough. I just don't think that Deshaun Watson is going to be their long-term answer there. Bengals, obviously, great team again. AFC North is just, I mean, we all know it's just completely stacked. So there's definitely going to be some losses in there, but I feel like they'll mostly be splits. And then we bounce back week 14. Browns, I haven't beaten the Eagles. It has no correlation to Kenny Pickett being on the roster. It's just, I just feel like that the Steelers, prime time,
Does 10-7 get them to the playoffs?
Yeah, of course. I think
just like last year.
Yeah, I mean, and then I have them, the Ravens, another loss so split the series basically with pretty much everyone. And then I have them winning the Bengals. Chiefs lost. They're the Chiefs. It's Patrick Mahomes. I'm learned not to bet against that man. But I think that we could still compete with them. 10-7, and I got to that number just to sum it up. Last year we did it with Mitch Trubisky, Kenny Pickett, and Mason Rudolph. And shout out to Mason Rudolph because he did do great on that run. But so to me, I just don't see us going backwards with Russ and potential of Justin Fields. The offensive line starts clicking. You have the two-headed monster at running back, and George Pickens can be. I mean, everything's there. It's just like I said, we have to see it on the field. Like everything that's like every year, oh, they look great on paper, this new scheme is going to be great. Okay, let's see it on the field. That's why I think that we all learned as Steeler fans that, to take preseason with a grain. You've seen last year's preseason and you've seen this preseason.
Big time,
it wasn't too pretty.
Facts.
So
I like it. I mean, those 2 swing games in Ohio, I think will be a really big deal. If the Steelers can pull one of those out, I think it could switch their record to that 10-win mark, 11-win mark. But we're not that far off at the end of the day. I think they'll be fighting for a wild card spot. You think they'll be in a wild card spot. I did write yesterday, though, that this is a team that has no excuses anymore. They need a deep playoff run, or they should be, absolutely crucified. This, 3 years ago, Big Ben's final season, him riding off into the sunset was his quote-unquote excuse. And you have a rookie quarterback and Pickett the next year. Nobody expects you to win a Super Bowl. And then last year you have these high hopes because of a huge preseason, but the elephant in the room is Matt Canada is still your offensive coordinator. Like this, you're going to win with this guy, no chance. All of that is gone from a previous regime. They chose their quarterback. They chose their coordinator. Now they need to choose their path, which has to be winning, or or there should be a lot more heat on Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, I mean, enough is enough at this point. And this just like, we're the Sick Podcast, Steeler Crazy. J York Football, Mic'd Up Sports 1. I'm not going to get on here like, yeah, am I a homer? Sure. I'm like, yeah, every Steeler, is the best player ever. But it just goes back to how I feel about the Cam Heyward contract, how I feel about Mike Tomlin. It's okay to say I love Mike Tomlin, but something needs to give. The heat needs to be. You always, preach the standard is the standard, but like you got to win a playoff game. Just win a playoff game and then build off of that. I think that's the only way this is a successful season. Obviously you want to, go farther, but I think just saying, okay, I can do it, kind of a big, middle finger to the doubters or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's like, come on.
Yep.
Let's see it.
If you're watching us live right now, we appreciate you guys, and we want you to be aware of our exciting new show, weekly, Players Only. We're going to rotate some Steelers on, and we're excited to do that with our first guest, Deshaun Elliott. His show is going to be awesome. He's got a big personality. He is a very key piece, starting safety for the Pittsburgh Steelers this season. You'll be hearing his name a ton the first time he's in black and gold. So if you're watching us live right now, make sure you stay on the pulse for that. If you're watching this pre-recorded, make sure or if you're watching the taping of this, make sure you go back and check that show out and subscribe to us over on YouTube. So that's a wrap for us today. Thanks so much.
10-7 in a playoff win.
There it is. Let's see. We'll go back and check ourselves.
9-8. Missed the playoffs. So, Mic'd Up Sports 1. Who you guys watching on X right now? Make sure you mention them.
Hit me with it. I'm ready.
He's still here. What do you have? A day and a half
to change it?
Yeah.
Nah, come on. All the way till Sunday at 1:00. I got till 12:59 p.m. on Sunday Eastern time.
Right. We'll see. I said once the first game plays, I said you got to have it in. So Thursday.
Fair enough.
All right. I'll see you.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast Steelers Crazy on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.